Today, I travel to Oxfordshire County, home of the world-famous Oxford University, to explore an investment opportunity for building new homes. I met seed and property developer Rajinder Singh, who introduced us to the development opportunity. We also chatted with Samuel Lamb from Savills Oxford's residential development team, who explained the region's potential.
Banbury is such a big hub for Oxfordshire. It's the second most populous place after Oxford City. So I think it's 55,000 people in the district. And Adderbury, the housing type here tends to be slightly larger. So you get affluent people moving out of Banbury, moving into the area, and all drawn towards this location. And why is it popular? Because it's close to jobs. There's loads of employment in this area. It is close to the town, so you've got all the amenities. The village itself is a good size. You get, shop, pub. There's a lot going on, and the amenities nearby, they cover everything you could possibly need. So if you're looking to be in North Oxfordshire and you don't want to spend your 20-30% premium to buy near Soho Farmhouse, this is a really good option. It's expensive, of course, compared to some areas, but in terms of Cotswolds, North Oxfordshire, it's affordable.
The Oxfordshire County has a few favourable places to live besides Oxford itself, like Abingdon, Banbury and Otterbury, where we are now. Banbury is 10 minutes by car, Oxford is 40 minutes away, and London is 1.5 hours away by car or by train. King's Sutton railway station is 15 minutes away. This site with easy access has the potential to build a residential development with detached houses and apartments. Planning permission is in place.
The actual site here is roughly about 2.5 acres. We have 10 houses along the side here, facing the countryside, and we actually have planning here, next to this block here, for 8 apartments. So the scheme is pretty amazing as far as location is concerned, because the close proximity to Banbury and close proximity to the village. The way that we're actually proposing to build the site, it'll be built in phases, as opposed to building the whole scheme in one go. The idea is to build phases of 2-3 houses at a time here at the front here. So as you're building the houses, you're selling them.
What about the parking?
Each house has its own parking space. We are aspiring to the ecology. So we are adding a lot of A-star plus ratings on our EPC. We are developing our schemes in a sustainable way.
How long it takes to build the houses?
One of the key jobs here is actually getting the sites cleared in readiness for the development. A lot of work is put into the drainage on the roads here. But once you come out to what we call the golden brick stage, which is at DPC level, the houses are actually built between 20 to 24 weeks. So it's quite a short period of building the houses. But the total scheme will probably be completed within about probably 12 to 14 months. So it's quite a short period because, as I say, as you're building the houses, you are selling.
So you can actually move in the end of 2025?
Absolutely. That's the whole attraction about these type of investments, is that we're normally a block of flats, as you see behind us. You're not allowed to occupy those flats until the whole scheme's completed. But here, as you're building houses, buyers can move straight in. So from an investment perspective, it kind of reduces your exposure during the process.
Are the local banks ready to finance the construction as well? Are they supporting the schemes like this?
Yeah, they are actually, probably in a very positive light, because the industry is driven that way. So there is, especially for housing, there is a shortage for housing in the country, and the banks recognize that. But they also understand that, recognizing that model that I've just said. So from the bank's perspective, they don't have to invest all the construction throughout the whole stage. They can also do theirs as stages. So their cash flow projection works well with ours, because it's based on what you build and what you sell within a short period of time. So it's attractive for everyone, for the developer, for the investor, and the bank's lender. Well, as far as the market is concerned, you can never build enough houses. The market and demand, especially around the Oxfordshire area, is incredibly strong. And it's very stable. It's a very safe, stable sort of market here. It's not as volatile as it is in the bigger cities, which tend to go up and down quite a bit. But around the Oxfordshire conurbation, we've noticed that it's a very stable sort of market here, which has got nice modest growth over a stable period of time. Because the buying profile is very different to what you have in other cities. Because predominantly there are some local buyers, but you do attract buyers from London, from the big cities, where they want a better quality life on schemes like this.
How safe it is in this area?
Oh, it's very safe, actually. I mean, I think crime here doesn't exist. I can't think of the last time I've ever seen any article about crime in this area. You get the same modest kind of small crimes, but generally speaking, though, with the schooling and the actual the ambience that you create here, it's a fairly safe environment. Yeah, it's very safe.
Nearby in Adderbury, there is a great example of a successfully developed Hayfield Manor project of 40 APC A-rated new homes.
This is the Hayfield development scheme here, which has been ongoing for about 2 years when they started. And their sales are actually averaging roughly about 1 sale a week, which is quite successful for a small little development team. But the level of Hayfield's development against other developers is quite exceptional. They tend to aspire for a sustainability group, so they aim for an A-star plus rating on the EPC. So their story about sustainability is very powerful and very strong. So they really are the market leaders, actually.
And who is buying here?
Again, these kind of buyers are a bit more of the higher affluent buyers from London that are moving from, I suppose there you can probably sell a 2-bedroom flat there for $1 million plus. Here you can actually buy a 5-bedroom house like this for the same price. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, as we would say, actually. Yeah. So these homes are more designed for people that do work from home. So they have studio allocations, little studio rooms allocated here, the parking, the electric vehicle usage points and everything else. So the houses are very much designed for that modern ways of living, I guess.
We popped into the sales office to learn about the project.
We're all about quality and building a nice place to live.
The sales manager at Hayfield was very helpful and showed us around to one of the completed and already sold houses.
As standard, you, in all bar the 3-bedroom semi-detached houses, you have Sonos music systems, so that will be in the kitchen, the sitting room, the master bedroom. You have your Ring doorbell, you have your burglar alarms. It's underfloor heating to the ground floor. Air source heat pump is the method of heating. And you've got solar panels as well. So they are properly green houses. So I have one of these left, and this is 1.1 million. The dining room here. So that's the downstairs. This is called the Hanwell. So do come on up. That is a small room.
Yeah, for a small child.
A small child, or if you needed 2 studies, perhaps that could be another one there. So bedroom 5, bedroom 4, bedroom 3.
I was impressed to see high-quality homes in Adderbury, built to the latest energy-saving trends with high-quality finishes and fittings. This indicates that the area attracts a well-off clientele from London and abroad. We continued our conversation with Samuel Lamb from Savills Oxford's residential development team to learn who lives and buys property in the area.
The community aspect you get around it was quite nice because it's quite a lower pace of life here, really.
Yeah, but equally,
But yet you're quite accessible.
it's quite a big village as well, so it's not so insular that people don't like people coming in from outside.
Sure.
That sort of changing demographic is actually welcome.
Okay.
So
they embrace the
yes,
growth.
so it's quite an approachable place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the actual buying profile varies, I guess, the age groups and
Yeah.
who are the kind of buyers who buy these houses.
There's a larger proportion of detached houses in this village compared to the wider area. So we can see from the data that it's about 20-30% higher. That has an influence on who it attracts, but also the house prices are generally a bit higher here, so that impacts who can afford to live here.
Yeah.
We've done some research and we can see within the OX17 3 postcode there are 4 groups, of which 3 are generally over 55. So those are the largest groups of buyers. And what I mean by profiles is Experian profiling. So it sort of groups people based on their consumer habits and their age profile and how much they earn and so on. The 3 older demographics are obviously a key market for us, and those are downsizers, people with larger gardens with land, where they want to be. They want to be near an urban settlement, but they don't want to be in the thick of things. They don't want to be in Banbury. They want to be on the periphery where they've got access. They've got a semi-rural feel, so it's that sort of halfway house between what they're used to and what they want. And then there's also the more affluent, younger profile. It's sort of 36 to 45-year-olds who come here looking for something in the country. They might be coming from London, often they are. Their income's fairly high. They will be looking at the detached houses, competing with those downsizers. So there's those 4 groups who tend to consume most of the market here.
But I guess there must be a good school base around here as well as schooling education.
Yeah, there is. There's some good rated schools. And then if you want to go
so the young families is perfect for that.
Yeah.
If you've got young kids to bring your families.
Yeah, and we've sold houses where children are going to private public schools as well, and there's pretty good access to those. Oxford's sort of within distance if your children are boarding, or the Stowe and many others. So yeah, that's another avenue. But certainly, schooling, primary schooling is great. I sold a house within my eyesight opposite about 3 years ago, and their children went to primary and then went to an independent secondary that was a 15-20 minute drive. So yeah, there are good options.
Yeah, no, and the motorway access is quite attractive as well, because literally within 10 minutes you're on the motorway into London, you're in the motorway to Birmingham, you can go south or north.
I think that's a really good point.
It's the middle ground, actually.
The M40 is why one of the reasons why Banbury is so successful in terms of its economy. The number of big businesses that set up here or have warehouses here, that creates employment, and the whole place thrives.
And also the sporting activities around here. You've got Silverstone close by, which is a big draw against drivers and the country aspect of it.
Lots of Formula One workers.
That's what I'm saying. So you get a lot of the cars actually based in Oxfordshire, mechanics. The expertise is based here as well.
Oxford, between here and Leamington Spa, there's that's
the main sort of car generation.
Yeah, and as you say, because of the transport links here, there's a lot of those people. It's another reason why people move here.
Okay, so as a location for development, it's perfect for investment purpose, for rentals and private sales. There's a big demand either way for rent.
Definitely either way. In terms of sales, very straightforward from my experience. There's clear demand. In terms of rentals, there's actually fewer private rented homes here than in the wider area. Now, I wouldn't say that's because there's no demand for it. There's probably availability. So as a backstop option, that would be fine and would work really well. There's certainly demand. There's very few options because of the competition, and capital values here are higher than the surrounding areas. So you don't tend to see buy-to-lets. And there's a lot of competition in terms of private owners.
Just on the pricing in Atterbury, where does the pricing value sit around here?
So according to the latest data from Rightmove, it's 1% up on last year, 3% up on 2021. So within that, you would have expected a bit of a drop, but actually it's been really consistent. I've got a graph here which I can share with you that tracks sales in the village.
And that's real time.
That's real time. You can see it's fairly sporadic. There's highs and lows, but the red line is the average, and you can see that's consistently growing. And what's encouraging is it's not spiking and dropping, and it's not dropping.
It's stable.
It's really stable. And that's the theme throughout Oxfordshire. The Oxfordshire market
is very stable.
It doesn't rise as fast as, say, Birmingham when things are red hot. But Birmingham
they
drops
drop very quickly.
Whereas Oxford generally, even back in 2015, 2008, the prices up. They might flatline for a period, but then they carry on rising slowly. So it's a really strong capital investment area.
Is there international buyers here, profile-wise, as opposed to being
Yeah,
Like Birmingham and London always attracts the international buyers. Do they
yeah,
venture out to these parts of the world at all?
they do.
Those international
Yeah,
buyers?
they do. It's less intensive than cities where
Yeah, of course,
Oxford, Birmingham do attract higher volume, but they do exist,
But they
and
do
it tends
come.
to be employment led. So where they're working for an institution, it may be McLaren or
Exactly, that type of
Mercedes. Those people will come to the area.
Or even close to the Oxford University is quite appealing because that's quite close by
Yeah.
as well, isn't it? So,
Yeah, and
the prices in Oxford are quite strong relative to what they are in Adderbury, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's Oxford. There's also all the institutions
Yeah.
around Oxford University. So yeah, it all adds into the mix.
So, do you want to know more about investment opportunities in the UK? Please let us know in the comments. And if you are interested in the particular development in Adderbury, feel free to message me on WhatsApp or Telegram. All my contacts are in the description. And like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss anything exciting in the future. That's all for today. See you in Oxfordshire.